Mark and Joey here. It's Tuesday, Joey, and typically it's pouring rain outside right now. So we're going to bring a new feature to you. But first of all, we do want to talk about what's happening. For those of you new to the show, we're down in Myrtle Beach now. We live in Toronto, Ontario. Spent the whole summer there. The shows all came from there. But Joey, why are we down here in Myrtle Beach? Besides, it's warm, it's cold.
Just because everyone should want to be in Myrtle Beach right now compared to the snow that hit the north of...
we left a couple days ago.
Yeah, the north of North America, Canada, and obviously up in the New York areas, Detroit, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we're down here for my golf career to play lots of golf. I've actually played the first 3 days since I've been down here, so it's worked out great. Today is a rainy day, so we're putting some more video on the site for you guys here. Going to be going to a new topic. We'll get into that. But yeah, very excited to be down here playing golf. I got a practice session yesterday, so the golf was a little bit better since being down here, and it's just a great feeling after 14 months of injury. So, you really realize how much you miss something, which is good, and it makes you want to work even harder at it. So it's awesome to be down here. I'm real excited to keep on playing. And after today and tomorrow, I'll get back at it, which will be lots of fun.
And those of you that have joined us, obviously have subscribed. We appreciate that very much. This is what Joey does. I help out, but he does most of the research on these things. And it's really kind of the way that you help pay for your golf career. Any professional sport, it's expensive. Golf is particularly expensive because usually it takes a long time to get there. You might be 25 to 27. And we've been doing this since you've been 5 years old as a junior, so so it's a long career. So this is what you're doing is work. We hope you enjoy it. We have our normal show called the Ultimate Sports Channel Rewind every Monday, where we cover off NBA, NHL, NFL, PGA, and other major sport topics. And so you see that every Monday, and that's the primary shows. We're also going to do some shows that don't involve us hosting. This is why we put it all in one day, because you're out playing golf, and our time is tight, and I'm working on the other business. So we're doing that all on Monday. However, I will mention, before we get there, ultimatesportschannel.com. You can go there every day. We have new posts every single day about all the sports that are happening out there. Even when we're not talking about a subject, we have it there. One of our stars is Colin Coward, who's on Fox, and we get that channel. And so you can see his show too, and or parts of it. And you'll be able to do all that every day. So make ultimatesportschannel.com your site to visit every morning and get all the sports. And then Mondays are for us. Usually we get the video up by Monday night. There's post-production work to get done, so it takes a little while to get it all up. But by Monday night, usually we're up and running. But we're going to bring a new feature to you today, which is actually going to break away from our Monday show, although it might show up there too. And we are, Joey, huge horse racing fans.
Definitely.
And we've spent a lot of time at a lot of tracks as we've traveled for golf, which is where, we travel most of the time. But we love horse racing. I've been in horse racing for 40 years. Joey, you stepped in this year and owned a part of your first horse and got involved in horse racing as well.
Yeah, I did get involved in a horse, which was great in harness racing. But this show is going to be about all horse race thoroughbred harness. But yeah, we've been around everywhere. We went to a bunch of tracks, and even on the way down, stopped in Mountaineer Racetrack, which was a very nice hotel and racetrack mix there. So very impressive there. Last year we did travel across North America, drove from Florida all the way out to Vegas. So we stopped in about 3 or 4 tracks, and I've done video. And if you've been on our show, you've obviously seen some of the video already. But what this has gone into was looking at what people know and don't know about horse racing. When you visit all these tracks, you see that there's so much knowledge that these people don't get, and maybe the track doesn't do a good enough job of presenting it, so we are going to do that here.
And we've had lots of questions over the years, friends and family who have not gone out to the races before, or some have, and have been completely lost as to how do you pick a horse. And picking a horse can go from extensive handicapping right to picking a name you like. Who knows? We've recognized that Joey's win a lot in horse races, so we always play Joey's. But we want to talk about as well, people talk about betting and gambling and losing money at the track and stuff like that. We have another way of looking at that we're going to talk about. But there's also a number of things about horse racing that nobody really understands unless you're in the game like we are. We're going to talk about all of that to make people feel comfortable at the racetrack.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's obviously our goal, is that you're comfortable there. You understand it a little bit better. You kind of can look at it maybe even in a different view than you do now. Obviously, there's tons of sports going on worldwide that we spend tons of money on to watch, and specifically, football, gamble on already. So, horse racing is just something that goes a lot more often, but you look at Friday, Saturday nights, there's lots of tracks going throughout the day, and probably one near you, and there's a lot of fun to be had if you just maybe understood a little bit better, and maybe go win a bet or two, so that's what we're here for.
So this is the ultimate horse racing channel, I guess. It's going to be within our subscription-based services and shows that we do. But we're going to cover tons of topics. We're going to be here for a while. Horse racing is a great sport, but there's a lot to learn about it. There's a lot of fun to learn about it. So if you look at it and think, I don't care about betting, stick with the show. We're going to talk a lot about the fun stuff. Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about that to get the show started so people understand what we're looking at. Joey, let's compare horse racing to other sports out there. This is a passion of mine because we consider horse racing entertainment. Mm-hmm. And it's a value that you put on your entertainment, right? So when you're going to go to the racetrack, let's say you're going to take $100 to the racetrack, and people go, oh my God, you're going to go and gamble $100.
Yeah.
Well, we don't look at it that way. We look at you're taking $100 to enjoy horse racing, and the way you can enjoy that and get some of your money back is wagering on those races as they happen. Joey, we go to hockey games. What does it cost us to go to a hockey game?
Yeah, I mean, in Canada, it costs you almost a month's rent
it's
to go to a hockey game.
Ticket, a league game, just a ticket.
I was even talking about football with someone the other day, and that they spent $290 without having to purchase tickets. They got free tickets. They spent that much from tailgating, drinking, and eating, and parking. So we look at it as not what unfortunately the history of horse race sometimes has, which is people always bet on the ponies, as they used to call it. It simply can be entertainment. So you go in there, you're outdoors. You hopefully picked a nice day. There's tons of races. There's no way that you're going to get a blowout game like a hockey game or football, and the other team just wins.
What are you talking about? After you pay your $150, the team's getting beat 6-0?
Yeah,
this happened to me years ago. This is kind of one of the topics I have. I took both of my father-in-law, my dad down to a Leaf game. Yeah. Again, we're from Toronto, Ontario, and it was 6-0 at the end of the second period, and we paid. I don't even know what I paid. It was, and this is a long time ago. It was a ton of money. So when you look at horse racing, as long as you put a cap on what you're going to go spend, use it as entertainment. Say, hey, we spend $100 on entertainment, so let's go out there. But you got a chance at the races to get some money back.
Definitely. I mean, you got a food budget that you're going to spend anyways to go to something else. But just take whatever your ticket would be to another sport, and you can use that on wagering if you want. You can also go, by the way, you can go for free, watch the races, not wager anything. Yeah. You can literally have a free night. A lot of times, if you're going to be outdoors, you can bring your own food and snacks. Only if you're going to go up in the dining area that you need, obviously, to pay. But
actually, before you get on, that's a great point to be made. There is that we take our own stuff lots of times.
Yeah,
our own pop, and we're not taking a lunch or anything, but you could. They actually don't care. They don't hassle you about it. That's a great point. That's another good thing about being. It's almost like a picnic outside on the tarmac.
Well, it really ranges just from what you want to spend that night. I mean, like I said, you go to dining room, have a nice meal or buffet or something, watch all the races. Again, you don't have to wager a dime and eat all the food you want. There's just so many ways to go about it with horse races that we find you get value out of it rather than a sporting event. We do talk about the blowouts and other sports. And in horse race, you got 12 races that restart every time from the beginning. New horses, just as exciting as the last race. So horse racing gets a bad rap because it is kind of had this gambling feel to it, thinking it's the only reason to go watch it. It's just really the price of your ticket if you even want to do it. You don't have to, but if you do, guess what? The price of your ticket to go to a sporting event is now a chance to win more money on top of what you're going to spend anyway.
And two people can't go to a sport these days. They'll spend $300, $400, $500 on one game by time transportation, like you're mentioning. So we don't have that at the track, and you get to go and take your budget. The other good thing, it doesn't cost anything to park. No, I think we found one track, high-end track that does.
Yeah, we did.
But let's say 99% of the time, doesn't cost anything to park, doesn't cost you to get in. You could technically go for free and just watch the races if you had, if you had that in your mind. There is no other sport that you can do that in, and that's a big piece of, for me, the entertainment. By the way, for those of you who go out as a couple and go for dinner, let's put two people going out to a decent place for dinner. You can't get under $100 to do that. Like there you go, just dinner almost anywhere these days. I mean, it's not even a high-end restaurant to spend $100 on two people.
Well, I mean, even there you can go to dinner and at least you got something to watch as well if that's what you're after. But there's so many good things about it, and really lots of options on the type of night you can really spend at the track. So that's probably the first thing, is just a misconception about it. And beautiful animals, and you can get up close at most tracks to see the horses. And if you have kids, they're going to be impressed by the big horses anyways. And, you really get a good vibe of what horse racing is all about just by going live and taking the gambling mentality out of it. But, that's definitely step one is the misconception. And you guys should know that it's technically as free as you want it to be, and up to you guys on how you just to spend the time there. But definitely great horses, great atmosphere, and usually good people around most of these tracks here. Definitely across America. Going on a weekend, it's just, regular folks with families, and it's lots of fun to see. And we went to a small track one time, and the whole community came out, so it could be great for wherever you are.
And I think you made a great point there about the kids. You guys came to the track your whole lives, because why? When you get up the tarmac, it's a great big massive area that's enclosed within the track.
Yeah.
Your kids can't get in any trouble. They can yell and scream at the horses when they're racing, which kids love to do. Kids love horses, that's the other thing. They see horses outside of the racing on TV and a lot of kids stuff, like, books and whatever they're doing with the horses. So kids love to go. Take them to the racetrack. There's nothing that's going to happen to them there, and they're going to be able to cheer when the horses are racing. They have fun. You kids used to pick a number that you could cheer on. You had a blast. So it's, and if you get a really nice night, you're out right at the rail. The other thing we did is we went to the winner's circle every time they won. You kids love that too. There's a picture. We weren't in it, but the owners are in the picture there, and a lot of fun. A lot of the jockeys and drivers. We'll talk about the difference between a jockey and a driver in later shows. But they would connect with you kids and have a great time there. So, but this first part of our show here is to let you know how much we love horse racing, and if you use it as entertainment, it doesn't have the same significance. It's always, you're going to the races, you're going to lose money. You're not actually losing money. You're spending money like you would anywhere else you're going for entertainment, but you have a chance of getting it back, and there's many nights you'll leave with more money than you came with, and you can also regulate how much you spend on any night that you go to the track.
There's nothing forced going to the track, just, whatever you want to do.
There's nobody running around saying, hey, you got to bet this race.
Yeah.
Nobody even cares. Just enjoy yourself, but you can put a couple bucks on and enjoy the thrill of a horse winning and you getting some money back. That's certainly something you do. Enjoy. You mentioned as well the dining room. Like, if you really, in most of these tracks, as a matter of fact, almost every track these days, the dining room is as good as going to any, really, from medium restaurant to very high end. At the top tracks like Laurel, where we were on our way back last year from Myrtle Beach, it's just spectacular. I mean, you could not go and eat any better anywhere than you can at a number of these larger tracks now. So, take that up. If you do want, you say, hey, we can afford dinner as well as the races. You're going to have a spectacular dinner. Most tracks will have a buffet, which is always cool, or that you can order right off a menu. So, there's so much there to look at. The other thing you get is some of the tracks have what we call the paddock area, Joey, and what we can do there, which is fantastic. It's fun.
Yeah, like I said, you get to see all the horses up and close and really get up and close with these animals that are obviously way big in stature and are very impressive. So, lots of fun. Like we said, we've talked about all of it here, and the bottom line is you just got to understand that there's nothing forced when going to the horses compared to anything else. It's all up to you. It's probably more local. Everything can be free. Kids are free range. Adults are whatever they want to do. Dinner, all the stuff that you do already in a city, and you add the value of watching horse racing. So it's really just a fun time that we like and we enjoy. And we've been to tons of tracks, and we're going to show the video of it on our site, and you can already probably see some of them up there and understand what we're talking about here as far as the quality of a lot of these horse tracks are. And we just think it's something that you watch on TV, the big races. Well, that stuff's going on all the time, and it's just definitely a good way to spend a day in the sunshine. We know specifically a couple tracks too that have other stuff going on. Most of them have casinos. If you're an adult or a senior, there's a lot of casino stuff going on. So
lots of hotels attached to the track.
Yeah, there's just stuff going on. So we really enjoy it.
You mentioned a great point there. Actually, every racetrack's local. I mean, we kind of travel to racetracks because that's what we're on the road all the time. But in most cases, this is your community that's out at the races. So, get out there and have some fun also with the people within your city, because it's a very local sport. People don't travel miles and miles and miles to get to a racetrack, but they will within a community. So it's great to go out, spend a day or two, depending on how much. A lot of the smaller tracks run only once or twice a week, which is cool. Like I say, it's a real good gathering to have. So anyway, this opening part is about how much fun the races are. It's not about betting the races, it's about entertainment, and you're using your wagering as kind of your ticket to get in. The great thing over and above any other sport, of course, is that you can't get your money back in other sports, but you can when you go to the racetrack. And if you don't, you got your budget out there. Okay, you just had a real fun day with 3 or 4 hours of racing, which is fantastic, and a real fun environment, and with great animals as far as the horses are concerned.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, good people around too, and it's just a fun day. And during the day too. So obviously, lots of things are tough with kids because they're at night. This is normally at 1 o'clock, so it gets you outside as well, not stuck in an arena. So pick a nice sunny day that adds to all the enjoyment.
Yeah, and almost every one of the tracks races on the weekend when the kids are out of school, so it's great fun to do that. So you know what? There you go. We wanted to kind of dispel the myth of the gambling and betting part of the racing, which is part of it. I mean, but you are saving the money you would normally spend to go to some other event, to go to the races. So it's really about entertainment. And if you really think about it that way, it's a great way to go and enjoy the horses. Enjoy the fact you can wager on a few races and cheer on a horse to the finish line. And there's nothing more exciting than when you have put a couple bucks on a horse and he comes across and is winning. He or she's coming across and is winning a race for you. Nothing but fun when that particularly happens. So there you go. That's the first show. We're talking about the entertainment value of horse racing. And so wanted to let you know, if you stick around, we're going to have a lot of in-depth subjects, but we're going to have subjects about the fun about racing and the things like that can happen. So we hope you enjoyed the show. Appreciate any feedback as always. Again, we're on Patreon, patreon.com, and search Ultimate Sports Channel. You'll see our videos there. We hope you enjoy, and we'll be back with our next installment in video 2 about the ultimate horse racing.